All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hello, everyone.
How you feeling, KJ?
I am feeling pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. But what I'm trying to figure out, how
Mhm.
did this last Sunday get back around here so quickly?
Well, February is a short month, so everything tends to run around real fast, especially this last Sunday, bills. So, yeah, it snuck up on us a little bit.
So you thinking about it's the end of the month and you thinking about the bills.
Right.
Well, guess what? Welcome to adulting.
Yay.
Yay, being adult. Well, I tell you what, it is a yay for me. As a mother, it's a yay for me because it's like I don't have to worry about you.
Well, I mean, you can if you still want to. I'm not going to take
Well,
that away from your motherhood journey. Mhm.
yes, yes, yes. Well, you said we're in the month of February. It is the last couple days, but February, as we all know, we celebrate Black History Month, right?
Yeah.
Right. Celebrate Black History Month. So I wanted us to just kind of talk a bit, kind of talk about some influences in our lives. You know, a lot of brown girls, Black women are doing some very positive things all around the world, actually, but it's certainly across this nation from many generations. It can be ancestors, it can be living legends, just people who I feel like are making notable impacts on society and notable impacts in the community. You got a few people?
Yeah, I got a few people.
I got some people. I got my notes. I got my
Me
notes.
too.
Got my notes. So I'm gonna pick my notebook up. And let's see. No particular way we want to go about this. I just want to just pay homage to some people who have been influential to me, whether I know them, whether I've met them, just to have the opportunity to just see like some of the things that they've been able to do. And quite frankly, the things that just inspired me, people who inspire me, give you that little spark, you know? So I'm going to
Yeah.
throw somebody out here. Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. And we got to know that she is celebrating a happy bicentennial birthday. So
Wow.
that's really, really big. I don't think I
Yeah.
have to tell people about Harriet Tubman.
You shouldn't have to. You
I
shouldn't have
shouldn't.
to.
Shouldn't have to. They should be able to really, I don't want to say look her up. I don't want to say it because I hope they know who Harriet Tubman is. I really do. Tell me somebody that you got on your list.
The first person I have on my list is actually Coach Sydney Carter. She works for Texas A&M women's basketball. And honestly, she made my list because of not only being a woman coach, but just her fashion style that has been the topic of conversation lately. Because what do we expect coaches to look like, and why can't we all be as fly as her? Is my question. So, Sydney is on my list for making a statement and doing it well.
You're right. I was, uh, I was gonna ask who that was, and then I thought about the fact that I did hear a lot because there's been a lot going on online. People, those pink pants.
I want those pink pants. Sydney, if you happen to see this, Coach Carter, just let me know where you got those pink pants. Thanks.
The pink pants really, it made some history. I mean, so many
It did.
people, the pink pants went viral.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. Do you think a whole lot of people really paying attention or knew who she was before that viral incident about someone asking about whether she was dressed appropriate?
Not at all. Because honestly, even if you Google Texas A&M women's basketball, she's not the first coach that pops up. Now her name is higher up there because of everything that's going on with her wardrobe. But I think that's why she started getting the recognition that she did. But Homegirl is tough. And she was a great basketball player as well. So I'm just like, if this is what it took to get her noticed, I hope people start to notice her talent because it's just as bright as those pink pants.
Let me, I feel like um, the question that was asked, whether or not that was appropriate, I hated the fact that
Right.
that question was asked because I feel like as a woman,
Hmm.
in any field, the way that we dress should not be the top of the conversation. I feel
Right.
like we should be able to wear what we want to wear, and definitely women of a status. Do you have to explain what you have on? Is there
Exactly.
something? What was wrong? What was wrong with what she had on?
Exactly.
Crazy,
Questions that
crazy.
I want to know too.
Ah, give us her name one more time.
Her name is Coach Sydney Carter. Check
Yeah,
her out.
yeah. Watch some of the games. We need to be
Hmm.
supporting, women's basketball a lot more. Definitely, we need to. And since you brought basketball up, I got to go there. I'm just going to have to go there. I didn't have this on my list and I should have, but you sparked this. I want to talk about somebody from our hometown, from Florence, South Carolina, Jolette Law.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. She's the assistant coach at USC. Let me tell
That
you,
is awesome.
she's an awesome person. I actually grew up with her. We went to high school together. Please, anyone who is not into women's basketball or not familiar with her career, please look her up. She was one of the first women to play for the Harlem Globetrotters. Did you know that?
I did.
Yes, you did. So she's like one of our hometown heroes. She's made history and she continues to make history. So let's give it up for Jolette Law.
Yes. And that is so exciting. I cannot wait to see her and Coach Stanley together. Man,
Which
USC was already a force to be reckoned with, but now, it's tough.
yeah, she's done a lot. She recruits a lot of great players. I mean, she's someone like you, for instance. I know that you're into a different sport and you've coached track, but definitely she's someone to look at and to
Hmm.
kind of pattern like what she does with players and the relationships and the bonds that she's been able to build. It's incredible because from what I know, and like I said, people are able to look up the history. She's really recruited quite a few players who actually ended up in the WNBA.
Yeah, she
Yeah, she
did.
has. And from Florence, South Carolina. So that's something that we
Woo.
can kind of be happy about.
Right.
I want to talk about somebody else from our hometown, Florence, South Carolina. We have the first, listen to me now, the first woman, Black woman mayor right here in Florence, South Carolina, Teresa Irvin. Wonderful, wonderful person. She's our mayor now. She is also a nurse. Big deal. Big
Yeah.
deal. Big deal for South Carolina. Big deal for Florence. So we've got to give it up for Teresa Irvin, first Black mayor in Florence, South Carolina. Throw
Yes, that is.
somebody else at me.
Let's see who else is on my list. Allison Felix. A lot of my list is athletes, but it's just been a good year for Black women in sports. So, I got to give shout outs where they're due. But Allison Felix is definitely next on my list.
Ooh, well, I love Allison Felix as
Me
well.
too.
What she did this past Olympics was really incredible, especially after becoming a mother.
Hmm.
This girl, how long has her career been?
You know what? Her career has been at least since I was in middle school. So Allison has been running. I'm not gonna
She's
age myself. Allison been running for a minute.
What do you mean you're not gonna age yourself? Anybody under
Allison,
30 does not need to be having that type of conversation.
you're right. But
You really
Allison's been running for a while. So man, I love her. Love everything about her.
I do too. And since you brought up Alex Felix, since you brought up track, you brought track
Mhm.
into it. I'm gonna throw somebody out. I know I got on my list. Wilma Rudolph.
Oh yes. Wilma.
Had to bring our ancestor into this.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, anybody that we bring up, any name that we bring up, you guys, if you don't immediately know who they are, take a note. Take a note,
Please.
look them up. And I want you guys to be interactive with us. If there's someone that you can think of that you just kind of want to shout out, let us know. We're gonna read it. I see we've got someone here on Facebook. We've got Keisha LaShawn in the building. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Is it my turn to bring somebody up?
Well, you just said Wilma, but go ahead, throw us another one.
Okay, I said Wilma. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring up another athlete. And I did when I think I was probably in I know it was elementary school, could have been 5th or 6th grade. And we have to do our little Black history reports and our book reports. And I did mine on Thea Gibson.
Wow, that's one of our comments.
Is it?
It is.
All right. Who gave that comment?
Keisha.
All right. See, we're on the same track. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta know. You gotta know. I'm gonna give somebody else. And I feel like I'm being greedy, but I'm just so excited to celebrate these Black women who have done
Yes.
so much, not just for our nation, but all over the world. People know who they are. Eartha Kitt.
Love me some Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt. She was born in Carolina. Did you know that?
She was.
She was. Come on, bring me somebody.
So I was looking at your shirt through the camera, and
Wait a
I was like,
minute.
this lady is on my list. So of course we're gonna bring up the one and only Issa Rae because her year, we are rooting for everybody Black.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm rooting for everybody Black. Issa Rae. Wow. I am so impressed with her, what she's been able to accomplish, and I can only imagine what she's going to do in the future. She continues to put out good work, and she started on YouTube.
Yeah,
She
she
started on
did.
YouTube. So she and some of her friends, they got together, they made a commitment to do something, be consistent about it, and to do great things, and look at where it's grown.
Exactly.
Issa Rae. And by the way, you brought my shirt up, and I want to give out a little shout out to Meek Apparel. So they provided the shirt. It's a Black-owned business here in Florence, South Carolina. Always putting out some really good shirts with a lot of quotes from um, Black people and just really positive, inspiring, uplifting sayings and people that I feel like we need to keep in our minds and in fact wear on our chest.
Right. We love it.
We love it. Throw somebody else at me.
So let's see. I think I'm gonna go with this. We're gonna take it back to sports a little bit. I have Miss Simone Biles, our gymnast.
Wow.
I appreciated so much about her this year, even more than before. So she had to get a little bit of recognition for sure today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She breaks like a lot of barriers.
She
She's been
does.
doing stuff in gymnastics that no one's ever done before.
Right. I wouldn't even, I can do a cartwheel. But after that, I'm going to just pass the baton over to Simone because I don't want to break nothing.
I understand. I see we got Roberta Miles here on, and she actually put someone up here that another hometown great, Maggie Glover, senator,
Yes.
right here in Florence, South Carolina. In fact, I was just at a Black History event last week, in fact, and I got an opportunity to talk to her. It's always great to talk to her. She always gives me good conversation. She's always there to inspire me, to keep going and to keep doing what I'm doing in the community. So it's always great to see her face. And guess what she did? She cut her dreads.
What?
Yeah, she did. So when I saw her last
Wow.
Saturday, she had cut her dreads off. I was like, "Oh, wow." So
Wow.
we're both in the natural club now.
Hmm.
She didn't
It's a great club to be in.
It is. You're natural too.
Yeah.
You're natural too. She didn't go bald like
Hmm.
how I am, but she got a really, really nice cut. So I was like really happy to see that.
That is exciting. I
Yes, because
love
you know
it.
what? Black women, we can rock our hair however we want to rock our hair, all kinds of
Exactly.
ways, all different colors. Add some, take some off, do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Well, since you keep bringing up athletes, right? I feel like it's only right that I now bring some poets in.
Okay.
So I want to pay a tribute to, and this is a living legend, one of my favorite poets, Nikki Giovanni. Nikki Giovanni, I could talk about her for probably the whole broadcast if I like to, but she has been so inspiring to me as a activist. I watch her, she's put out several books. Her poetry, you definitely need to look up and read her poetry. She's also a professor, someone that I love and someone that I definitely admire. And I'm gonna give you another poet. And this poet I looked up a little something I don't want to read. I got it here online. So let me come over here and bring it up. Phyllis Wheatley. Phyllis Wheatley. In 1773, Phyllis Wheatley accomplished something that no other woman of her status had done. When her book of poetry, poems from various subjects, religious and moral, appeared, she became the first American slave, the first person of African descent, and the only third colonial American woman to have her work published.
Wow.
Phyllis Wheatley. So she is the first African American to have a book of poetry published. So I've
That is
got
awesome.
to give hats off to her. Not only myself, but I'm sure several poets and writers have to be just amazed that she was able to accomplish that. 1773.
Right. That is really awesome. That's amazing.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to talk about Black history. Come on now. 1773, that's
Yeah.
history.
Right. Definitely.
Without a doubt. Give me somebody.
Well, real quick, since we were talking about poets, I do have a favorite poet of my own,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Tanya the Poet, who also has a book of poetry. Who'd have
Now,
thunk?
you know what?
But hey, I think it's good. You don't know how proud I am to tell people that my mom has a book of poetry. Like, I don't know, it makes me feel good, to see you doing your thing out here and really just showing your passion and sharing your words with everybody. So yeah, you're on my list.
Well, thank you. You have me blushing. I did not expect that. I feel like you put me on the spot, but I can't do anything because we are live.
I mean, I was just throwing it out there. Maybe if you catch the line later, we can hear something from my favorite poet.
Okay,
but
well, we can do that because actually with what we were going to do today, I actually we're throwing something new into our show and something new into the mix. So we're going to have a poetry block. And I guess I'll start it out. Black History Month, I will start it out. But the intent is to have a bit of poetry, have someone come on and read poetry or highlight a poet in our poetry block. So I'm looking forward to this segment, and I hope a lot of people will appreciate it. We've got some more
yes.
people in the chat. Anybody in there have someone you want to talk about?
I see somebody else shares my same favorite poet. Come on, keep the faith with Tori. I see you, girl. I see you. Good
If
taste.
Listen, y'all need to stop. Y'all go ahead and stop now. I'm just trying to do this show, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I
Of
receive it.
course.
I receive it. I love it. I've been inspired by some wonderful people. And if we're going to talk about poets, I'll bring another poet that I know everyone know and love who has joined our ancestors, Dr. Maya Angelou.
Hmm.
What could we not say about Dr. Maya Angelou? She has
Right.
done so many inspiring things for me in particular because I was having a hard time for the longest time like being an artist, being a creative because I knew that I liked the poetry, I like photography, film, directing, producing. I've dabbled a bit in music. So I felt like for the longest time that my head was just all over the place. And I was wondering, I'm like, okay, well, I like doing this, I like doing that. I've done some of this. Where am I at? And then when I really stopped and I took a look at the works of what Dr. Maya Angelou had been doing, she's done some of those same things. She's been a director, a producer. She's done calypso music. She taught, as well as she's a writer and she does poetry. And so that kind of made me feel a lot better. It kind of put me in a space where I said, you know what? I can do all of these things that I want to do because I'm just a creative person and it's okay. So she made me know that you can do all of those things. So I've got to give thanks and I've got to pay homage to Dr. Maya Angelou.
Yes, definitely.
All right. I see Keisha in here. She said Nina Simone.
Oh,
Listen, wait a
yes.
minute. Wait a minute. Boom. Y'all
There
see
she
behind
is.
me? Y'all know I love me some Nina Simone. Yes, I do. Come on. Nina Simone. Look her up. You guys, you have to know who these great people in our legacy are. I can't just go through and just give you everything. I've gotta let you do some of your homework. Legendary. Her music. I want you to throw somebody else out there.
Well, since we're on the topic of music and kind of too on the topic of women being able to do multiple things, I have to have and mention my favorite, Rihanna, just because she has really been, the woman, especially in my generation, that has shown that you can do as many things as you want to do. You don't have to stick to one thing. You can rebrand yourself as many times as you want to. Of course, make sure you have a good team and the plans, but just really showing young Black girls that we can be moguls. We can actually do this thing. We can run businesses. We can be great in all aspects of the word. And so I just admire everything that she does and everything that she is. And I would really love another album, but her success just speaks for itself, really, just all that she does. And then all of the work that she does giving back to her community as well. Just it's good to see a young person doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? Um, Roberta is just flying off some names here that
Right.
listen, Michelle Obama.
Love
And
Michelle.
I have Michelle Obama on here. We don't have to tell you all about Michelle Obama, the first Black First Lady. Hmm,
Right.
come on. Oprah Winfrey. Come on. We don't have to tell you about Oprah Winfrey. Oprah has just broken. She's gone beyond the glass ceiling. She
Hmm.
created her own and broke that too. Debbie Allen. Oh, I love Debbie Allen, not
Yes.
only as a dancer, as an actor, but as a director. There's just so much her body of work. Look up her body of work. In fact, she directed a lot of A Different World. Did you know that?
I did actually because I went and rewatched the entire series. And so I was like, wait, I didn't know she was actually directing a lot of these episodes. So
She
yeah.
was. Aretha
Hmm.
Franklin, the queen, the queen of soul. Aretha
Hmm.
Franklin. Great, great, great picks there.
Yes,
Roberta.
definitely.
Yes, let's see who I have on here on my list. Since Roberta had to go ahead and call out so many of mine, I just have to go ahead and agree with her.
Right.
Susan Taylor. Susan Taylor. I don't know how many of you know Susan Taylor. Look her up. Um, I initially started getting into her works when she was the editor of Essence Magazine. Essence Magazine is really a historic magazine, actually, for us women, for Black women as well. And I always used to like to read her editorials. They were very inspiring. I like Essence Magazine. I grew up with Essence Magazine in my home. My mother brought Ebony, Jet, and Essence Magazine, so I would read them. I would read them from cover to cover, and not so much that I was into it because of the celebrities necessarily that they had on the cover or interviews or whatever editorials they had for celebrities, but a lot of the times in Essence Magazine, what I really liked is that they were showcasing women who were in business, women who were activists, women who were in the community. And that made a big impression on me. It really, really did. And it made me want to be great. It made me know that you can be great and you don't have to be a celebrity. You don't, it's not about fame. It is about doing good things. And Susan Taylor does so much. She does so much in the community. She does so much for young people. So Susan Taylor, she's another one of mine.
Nice. Nice, nice. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna have to dive back. We can go to acting right now.
Yeah.
Another young person I have is Zendaya, just because of how she's evolved as an actress, from Disney Channel to all of the stuff she does now, especially with HBO. And just, I feel like I've watched her grow, even though we're not too far apart in age. But just watching her character development and her dedication to her craft has been really amazing. And just how she is, I mean, I know actors act, but how she's able to completely separate herself from the characters until you don't even see it as her anymore. I really admire that. And I love that she is also showing that you don't have to stick, again, to strictly one genre. Like, she didn't go to Disney and stay Disney. Like, she said, now I'm a grown woman, so I'm going to do some other things. I'm going to venture out. I'm really going to test myself as an actress. So I really do admire her and the work that she does.
Hats off. These,
Yes.
I mean, lots of great women, lots of great women. This next woman that I want to bring up, this is some really recent news and some really good news for us. Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yes.
She's a Supreme Court pick. And I think everyone, especially in our community, we're really excited about this, to have a Black woman to be on the Supreme Court. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Ketanji Brown Jackson. You definitely know that she is a brown girl. You heard
Yes.
the name, right?
Right.
Jackson, I'm gonna just go ahead and say I'm gonna claim her as a cousin.
Right. You know, hey cousin, you go girl.
I'm claiming her as a cousin, and I'm just very proud. I'm gonna claim her and Janet. How about that?
Right. Because I feel like I'm a long lost member of the Jackson Five. It was supposed to be the Jackson Six, but it's okay.
Listen, well, if it was gonna be Jackson 6, I'm gonna just go ahead and let you know that Janet probably would have been the Jackson 6. So you're gonna have to be somewhere like 7 or 8 or something like that. I don't know, but if it had
You're
to be a
right.
Jackson 6, I think it would have been Janet.
You're right. It
Who
probably would have been. But, in case Janet had to do something else, I would have could have been her understudy.
well,
Do they have those in the band?
she was busy because she
Right,
started out with her acting career. She's done so
exactly.
much with her music. I just watched her documentary and I
Me
thought it was
too.
really good. I like the fact that she did it herself. She told
Hmm.
her own story. Janet is everything. She's a bad girl.
I have loved Janet since I've loved Janet the whole time.
Janet is a bad girl, okay?
She is. She
All
is.
right. We've been putting some people out there now. we've got a lot of Black history that we could talk about, not just women. Of course, it could be. I've got just a couple men on here that I want to. Who do I have on here? I wanted to talk about John Lewis, and the reason
Hmm.
I have John Lewis on here is because just incredible work that he's done in politics for our community, specifically for the Black community. I do not know why, and I'm looking for the voters' right bill to be passed. I know he must be waiting, just kind of turning in his grave with unbelief that it has not been passed. It needs to be passed. I don't know what we're going to do with politics, but we got to do something.
Yeah.
We got to do something, people. Definitely. And since we're talking about politics, I'm just put this last thing out there and I want to get off of it, but it's still important for us. A lot of people don't like to bring the subject up. A lot of people don't think that it's important, but it is. Um, HR 40, that's the slavery reparations bill. Listen, I do understand that there are people who are going to say they're outside of responsibility for that. And I don't necessarily want to tell people what their thought process should be. But there's no way that you can live in this country and not be aware that you have benefited from slavery. So reparation is due. I don't want to step on toes. I don't know who feelings could be hurt. It's not about feelings. It's about doing what's right. So I want to support Representative Sheila Jackson Lee because she's steadily pushing for the HR 40 bill. And I support that as well.
Hmm. It's something about those Jacksons. We gonna get stuff done.
Jackson, you understand? Jackson. You got anybody else on your list?
I think we covered everybody that I had
You did?
between us and the comments. Yeah.
Ooh, listen. Keisha's sitting over there just throwing everybody out.
Right.
Cicely Tyson. Mm, 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 mm.
Love me some Sicily.
Ooh, let's just take a moment and breathe in that greatness. We know Cicely Tyson. We love Cicely Tyson. And I just want to say thank you, Cicely Tyson. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody that we've named, everybody who's been that we've taken an opportunity to kind of shout out. There's so many, and we could go on and on. We just got a lot of greatness, and I love that we celebrate it.
Yeah.
People talk about Black History Month being in February. I hear people say, "Well, why'd they give us February, the shortest month of the year? Why do we get the month with the fewest amount of days?" Sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
Sounds crazy, but that tells me something, that some people haven't done their homework because we weren't given Black History Month. We weren't given the shortest amount of days. Do you really think that we would have actually been given Black History Month?
Right.
I don't think so. So I want to read something. I took a little another side note here, and I'm gonna go to this tab. Did I let you guys know this? Why Black History Month is in February? Do you know why?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
It's
Well,
not at the
guess
forefront of my mind right now.
I'm getting ready to share it with you. I'm
All
gonna
right,
share it
come
with
on.
you, and I'm gonna share it with the people who didn't know. I didn't know this either, but I looked it up, and I'm glad I did. On February 7th, 1926, Carter G. Woodson initiated the first celebration of Negro History Week.
Hmm.
It was a week, and he started it in February, which is why it is in February. So stop thinking that, we were given the shortest. No, that's not why. So I'm going to read this again. On February 7th, 1926, Carter G. Woodson initiated the first celebration of Negro History Week, which led to Black History Month to extend and deepen the study and scholarship on African American history all year long. So you get to celebrate all year long. And yes,
Yeah.
celebrated 365 days. Yes, it is about more than a month, but it had to start somewhere, and it
Hmm.
did. It started in February in 1926. So thank you, Carter G. Woodson.
Definitely.
So that's a little tidbit and a little fact that some people didn't know. And if you want to know a little bit more about them, do the same thing that I did. Look it up. Look it
Yeah.
up. All right, we've got Tori in here. She says, I'm enjoying this. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Where you want to go, Miss KJ? You already told the people that you had a favorite poet.
I do, and I'm not the only one. So it's sounding like it's time for us to go into our poetry block. That's
Does
what
it
we're gonna
sound that
call it.
way?
I think it does. Sound pretty good to me. What y'all think?
Just listen to the beat. Just listen to the beat. Just listen.
All right. Well, you asked for it, so I guess I got to give it to you. I'm going to have to get my book, though. So
Oh,
just let
that's
me get my
fine.
book.
That is all right.
The people have put me on the spot. So we're going to start our poetry block here on the Brown South Girls. And I'm going to be doing a little reading from my first book here, The Little Black Book of Poetry. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do here. And I got to tell you guys, it has been such a pleasure to write this poetry, such a pleasure to be able to release it. And I thank everybody who has gotten the book. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you for leaving comments in my message. You've left me comments on Amazon.com where you can get the book. And I'm just going to do a little reading here because it's the Little Black Book of Poetry. And listen, it is Black History Month. So I'll start out and I'll read the dedication to you. I dedicated this to Ishmael and Kalia in no particular order. I love all my daughters and sons, also the bonus ones, Dylan, Nataki, and Kizel. It is also in love and memory and celebration of Esther J. Kane. Thank you, Grandma, for getting tired of sharecropping and moving you and your children out of the country and into town. And into town is where I am right now in Florence, South Carolina. So I gotta thank her for that legacy. And she's done so much. And there's so many people in Carolina who have just been some shining examples of what we can do and how great we can be. And one of the poems that I wrote in dedication to some of the greats from South Carolina is titled Dirt, Rose, and Grass. So I will read that piece for you. Dirt, rose, and grass. They say the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. We coming from the South. Dirt, rose, and grass. William H. Johnson, Dizzy Gillespie, on the Good Foot Get Down. Y'all, we done birthed James Brown. Joe Frazier, Ronald McNair, from the cotton fields in Carolina, arrived Eartha Kitt. She transported to Harlem, but her roots ran country thick. Althea Gibson, Chubby Checker, Mary McLeod Bethune. We done bred a lot of legends, and we ain't through. It's the South, we Carolina, yeah, we country. We put gravy on our grits. We frying fish down here with the heads on them, and we serious about it. Hot summer days, find shade under trees, quench your many a thirst with a glass of sweet iced tea. Now, some of us done traveled north, west, across these lands and back. A good many stayed that rare breed of black, that head up, stand tall, survivor of many falls, cause we keep getting up. Ain't never gave up, won't never give up. Yes, my people, we country, we black, but we built tough. Some of us bougie now, high cotton country. Some hood, ghetto, still country. We down south living, but we ain't living in no past. We on the shoulders of our legends. It's our time to shine now, full circle, back south because they say the first shall be last. And that's Carolina, Carolina. And did you hear the amount of legends that we have coming from right here, our Black history? And that's just a few. If there's anybody in there that you don't know, I suggest you look them up. And that's that piece.
Yay. I love that one. I really do.
What do you like about that one?
I think just that wasn't one of the first ones I heard you perform, but I think just it makes me feel proud to be a South Carolinian. Because, you know, sometimes when you tell people you're from South Carolina, you get that look like, oh, you're from South Carolina. And I mean, yeah, we got to be honest. You know what comes with the territory, but there's also like a certain pride to have about it, being a Black person and being able to go out and do things and experience the world. And so that poem just kind of reminds me that it's good to be proud to be from South Carolina. So, you know.
And not only that, but you know, you can be from anywhere and
Yeah.
do great things. And so that's what was really great for me, just hearing some of my heroes and sheroes and knowing that they're from Carolina. So I kind of feel the same way you feel. And I was
Yeah.
inspired to write that piece. All right. Well, I tell you what, I want to keep the theme celebrating Black History Month. And I have a piece here titled How Many Times? It's on page 31 in the book. How many times? I don't care how many times they write or rewrite the story, how many times they change the lines, how many times we change leaders, how many lies were told, bodies, real humans were sold proudly, boldly, unapologetically, in a type of way like righteously, and it ain't right. I don't care how many times they keep trying to erase us from history. It is his story he's writing. We don't have to make history for our fair right to live, for our fair rights in the justice system. Fair, not equal. Equal has not been working for us. And I ask, equal to whom as our destiny looms in the hands of those who do not care for us, that do not care for humanity, making equal rights and justice a fantasy for those not of their skin. Skin brown like mine get left behind, no matter the hue. I don't care how many times we have to march, how many activists come on the scenes, how many hashtags we create because Black lives matter. Women's lives matter. Me too. We need to feed hungry people. It doesn't take great genius for this. It takes great heart, humanity, unity. And I don't care how many times we have words, these words are spoken in how many different ways, by how many different people, how many generations after generations. The message will never change. All humans have the right to life and liberty. Church folks will say amen in Jesus' name. Now, I don't care how many times you go to church or if you go to church or how much you make or what job you work. If service to another is not within your works, you have failed in my eyes. There is no prize for selfishness. I don't care how many times they try to persuade you to believe that Black history is not a part of all history, that our victories are not to their victories. Be us humble or bold and reverence with grace. Our history, our stories cannot be erased. They must be embraced by us. Oral history needs no book. Lessons are taught through voice, passed on by choice and received. Storytelling at its best indeed. We are more than words, so I don't care how many times we've been left off their pages. We've been here, we are here, and we'll be here for all ages. How many times will it take for you to get it? We are the live and living pages of our story. We've got to continue to tell our stories. Our stories are important. That's what Black History Month is about. It is telling our stories so that we know that we come from greatness, so that we can continue and be inspired in that same greatness. And that's That's that piece.
Love it. I wish there was a snapping emoji so I could have put it in there, but real snaps will suffice.
All right, all right, all right. I tell you what, we've got some people there. You got some people in the chats here.
Hmm.
What we got going on that side?
Okay, we got a couple of snaps. I'm telling
All
you.
right, Miss Tori. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see some snaps and some people just kind of putting that up there.
Hmm.
One love, one love, one love. I appreciate all of you. I really do. Um, and I'm telling you, just being able to release this volume of poetry has been a good thing. I've had, I do the open mics, I do a lot of speaking events, and I perform at several events and festivals. But there has been nothing like putting this book out. And so it just feels good. It feels good this Black History Month to be able to read poetry from this book. So I appreciate
Yes.
everyone who appreciates it.
And we do appreciate it.
I've got a piece that I tell you what, it's also in the book. It's also in the book that everywhere I go, and most Black history events I go, and especially during Women's
Yes.
History Month, I do this piece a lot. And you guys know it. When you're
Yeah, we
online,
do.
yeah, you know it. That's what it is. Yeah, we do. That's what it is. But you go online and you see Black Girls Rock. And speaking of which, let's give a shout out to the creator, Black Girls Rock, DJ Beverly Bonds. Let's give her some love because she has just done some phenomenal things for Black girls in the arts. She pushed poetry and DJing and filmmaking, and she supports so many young people. I love her platform. She's given us that award show that we all can relate to, and she gave us permission to say, "Yeah, we rock." So she said, "Black Girls Rock," and I was like, "Yeah, we do." You see the hashtags of Black Girl Magic. We got that magic. You see the hashtags of the melanin popping. Our melanin is popping. All of those things are true. And so that's the inspiration behind this poem. I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we do. They say Black girls rock. Reggae, pop, gospel, jazz, classic. We done hashtagged it. We hashtag Black Girl Magic. We got that voodoo, that boombastic. We've been rocking long time. Come along and ride. Our voyage is fantastic. Permission to celebrate our fly? Nah, we're not asking. Black girls rock. Black girls are lawyers and docs, responsible for astronauts traveling through space beyond. Black girl drummers. Black girls write songs and books and poems, movies and TV shows, directing so that our actresses can play more than maids and hoes, playing lead roles because we know the levels of our skills. Black girl politics, Congress, council, Black girl activists, police chief, Black girl mayors, two little Black girls playing in the White House. Malia and Sasha was in there, the smartest, the flyest, most classy, first lady of these United States of America. And time will surely tell if there ever is another. It's because they cloned Michelle. But Black girls always rock, and they won't stop until the sun don't shine and the moon swallows up the earth, until the color of our skin, our eyes, the shape of our nose, our lips, our hips are not mocked through mouths of uncultured lips. And that ain't stopping. Some ain't learned yet, so we celebrate ourselves as it is us who celebrates us best. Yes, 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 y'all. To the beat, we don't stop. Don't get mad because I say we rock. Name a fight that we ain't fought. Us rocking, it's no downplay to any. All girls rock. We know that's true. It's just maybe this rockabration don't have much to do with you. Now imagine that. You want to get upset when we celebrate our Black. We make this thing look good. We bad. We bold. We come in all shapes, hues, and sizes. You like it, and we realize it. You've been injecting your lips, put shots in your hips, spraying on tans, and sleeping with my man. Are you really my friend? Mm, I don't know, but we keep rising. We keep rocking, because that's what we do. We've been mothering and mentoring, teaching and guiding, building and providing for all, not just our own. This is a serious matter. More than a hashtag, Black Lives Matter. Now, we never said they were better, but just stop treating ours the worst, because our babies, they need us. So we lifting them up. Our movement ain't racist. It just celebrates us. And they say Black girls rock. And I know that's true. So my sisters, if you feel it like I feel it, say, yeah, we do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We've got to celebrate us. And we celebrate so many wonderful women, and there's just so many more to be celebrated. We're going to keep celebrating because we want our girls to keep doing great and to keep being great. Yeah, we do. All right, all right, all right. All right. Yeah, we do. All right,
We do.
we do. And you do.
Yes.
You do. You certainly do. And since you put me on the spot like that and talking about your mother is one of your favorite poets, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there like, how's she going to just, of course she going to say that. But okay, okay. Well, I got one better.
Okay.
If you want to talk about some history and you want to talk about doing some great things, talk about being Coach of the Year.
Well, if we look over to my side, there is my Coach of the Year trophy for girls Class A track and field in South Carolina. Just something slight, nothing major. But no, definitely a great experience, an exciting experience. I love coaching so much. It makes me happy. And I think that's also why I admire seeing so many other wonderful Black women coaches out here really making a statement and doing their thing, because it's not easy being a woman coach. It's not easy being a Black woman in male spaces. So doing both, I take my hats off to all of us.
Well, let me ask you, because you were coaching high school track and field.
Yes.
And as your mother, I happen to know that you kind of took the team, you and the track team, you guys won a couple championships. What was that like being a young Black coach? And if you don't mind, why don't you tell us the age you were when you all won that first championship, you as a coach?
I had to be 24, 25. I don't math. My students did. But I'm going to say I was like 24, 25-ish when we won our championship. And I was head coach. I was 23 when we won our first championship as an assistant coach. And so for me, it was a great experience, to say the least, because a lot of times, I would get to track meets and with my other coaching staff, who I had a wonderful coaching staff. And one of my coaches was Charity, another good Black woman coach. And we would get to track meets, and sometimes they would be like, oh, where's you guys' coach, when we walk up to the coaches meeting. And it's kind of like, we look at each other like, I got on a polo, you got on a polo, we're not going to run in these. And so just being able to show our work through how well our athletes did was a good thing, to be able to walk into a space and then people realize, oh, those are the coaches, instead of just automatically assuming that we're two young athletes. And then too, taking the team that we had, because a lot of people didn't really look at our school for sports. Our kids, geniuses, smart, very bright, but nobody looked at them as athletes. And so we wanted to make sure that they knew that you don't need to count yourself out before you get counted in. the same way you can walk in a classroom, or you can walk into a debate team match, or you can walk into a robotics match and do your thing, you can do the same thing as an athlete. And so that was the basis of how we coached them, and winning was just a plus. It was just even more exciting, like, hey, you don't doubt us, and you definitely don't doubt our athletes.
Well, what school was that, if you don't mind sharing?
The South Carolina Governor School for Science and Mathematics.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yes. It was,
W-
I think it was a great place for me to start, and I am so grateful for the opportunity.
Let me ask you a question. What, and maybe if there's a who, what inspired you to want to coach track?
I don't even know if I was necessarily inspired to coach. I know once I kind of stopped running, I kind of didn't really know what to do because most of my life I was a student athlete. So I was like, oh, now I have to just be a student. This is hard. But when the opportunity presented itself, I was like, you know what? I think I can do this. It's worth a try. I love the sport, and it's a way that I can give back to it and I can help other athletes. And so once I got into it and started finding my groove, I realized that like this is something I've been missing my whole life. Like, I don't know, like a kid's first time having ice cream. That's kind of like how I felt, like, wow, this is amazing. And so then I really just wanted to focus and hone in on developing my philosophy and making sure like my athletes were as confident in themselves as I was, because I get really excited for them. And I know that they can do great. So I just wanted to make sure that they knew that they were the best and that they could do it. And that just kind of kept me going. And seeing them succeed started to inspire me to want to coach even more.
So, I'll have to ask this question
Mhm.
in terms of where you'd like to go in the future with track or with coaching. Have you had any ideas, or have you been thinking about that? Are there any coaches who inspire you now that you've gotten into it?
So I definitely have been thinking a lot about whether or not I want to continue coaching or if I want to work in a different form of athletics. I do also really enjoy the mental side of athletics. So, like I said, making sure that my athletes are just as prepared mentally as they are physically. And I mean, it's just the fact that track is getting so much more recognition now, and there's so much appreciation for the sport. I am excited to just really, especially watch this outdoor season. I am really excited to see where things are going and where these teams are going. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, see, I want to celebrate you this Black History Month.
Thanks.
And so you didn't just get to put me on the spot.
Yeah.
So don't do it again.
I'll think about it.
All right, all right. You know what? I'm looking at the time now, and we've been live almost an hour. We did have a couple subjects we wanted to talk about, and we didn't get
Right.
to them.
How did this happen?
I don't know. I was at the beginning of the show, I was asking you, how did this Sunday just appear on us just all of a sudden so quickly again?
Right.
And now I'm trying to figure out, how did this hour just fly by us?
Well, guess people got to tune in on the next last Sunday, the
Hmm,
last Sunday of March.
the last Sunday of March. Do you know that date?
I don't, but I can look it up. You just give me a couple seconds.
Well, you know what? You can look it up, but you know what you said the last time? You told the people, "Yeah, I don't know what date it is, but
But it's the last one. I mean,
y'all
the
got
very
calendars.
last Sunday
It's the
in
last Sunday.
March.
What is it? Since you're looking it up, go ahead and let us know.
Oh, you know what? With February being a short month, February and March's days always line up. So the last Sunday is also the 27th.
The 27th of March. We'll
Mm-hmm.
be back
It
here
is.
again
Again.
at 6 o'clock. Will we? So
We
before
will.
we go, I just want to thank everybody, and I want to wish everyone just a happy rest of the Sunday. I hope you enjoyed Black History Month. Remember to celebrate the whole year through. You got a message for the people, Kalia?
Yeah, for one, thank you. And honestly, every day that you get to wake up Black and that you get to see somebody Black do something great, just be thankful, because we don't have to just celebrate it in a month, and it just doesn't have to be Black history. At this point, it's the Black future. So go out there and do it and be proud.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. That's our time. I want to let you know I read from the Little Black Book of Poetry. So I want you guys to get an opportunity to get that book. So make sure you do. Tell the people bye, Khalid. KJ.
Bye.
You know what? I keep messing it up. Yeah, listen,
Did
I'm
you
your mama.
reveal my alias?
I can't help it. I realized when I watched the show back the last time, I realized I called your name out a lot. I keep messing up the KJ. KJ. Y'all, she's KJ.
It's new. This is new, y'all. This is new. So it's
I'm
okay.
sorry. You know, it's not like I used to call her KJ around the house, so I'm just not nuisance to it.
Not nuisance to it. And that's on Black history.
And that's on some Black history. Bye, y'all.